Greetings, comrades, and welcome to another episode of the world-famous, popular podcast, Discussing Nothing. The show where we discuss a multitude of topics. We discuss a lot, but at the same time we discuss nothing. Pretty deep, eh? Deep, man. Deep.
Perfect question.
Today I'm joined by the gleeful
Alex.
and the chortling,
Tristan.
or should we say Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah, what is that? Who gave you that hat?
I've never seen a Charlie Chaplin thing. Is that what he does?
I don't know. It's probably, the hat's enough.
That's
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
It's a good look on you. Do you like it? Do you reckon you'd wear that out and about?
Yeah. I will.
Yeah. You will? Okay.
I will.
Okay. No need to elaborate, thanks. And Alex, you're on a bit of a winning streak of one at the moment of these.
No, I think
Who won the last one?
I'm confused in the order and things.
Well, this is a super fight.
the reggae
You've
band.
so far had. Oh
reggae
yeah,
band destroyed.
you lost last time.
I did lose.
Actually, you've been having a bit of trouble with these super fights. I'm saying, like,
I know. I'm just confused with the rules, and then I get caught up too much on the rules and don't.
there's only one rule.
What are the
You
rules?
are, well, there's maybe two, but so just to clarify, I have under my thigh two different characters on these beautiful bits of paper. You are going to, when I give you this character with its traits, you are this character.
Right.
You will fight Tristan's character.
Not like Pokemon.
No, not like Pokemon. You are not there. You are the character. So, Tristan, could you point at the one you care? Don't take it. Just point at the character you choose to be today.
Ooh.
Interesting. Tristan, today you are 5 Oompa Loompas that all have nunchucks, but they also all have...
Oh, for anyone listening to this audibly, Tristan almost fell. Somehow he's completely sat
Somehow
down.
he fell, sat down. So you are 5 Oompa Loompas that all have nunchucks, and they all have pretty weak hamstrings.
Oh. Wow, you must relate. So
And Alex, you are a vampire
Oh dear.
who has the common cold and also has marriage issues.
Wow, it's a little bit too close to home.
Alien.
Do you want your? Nah, it doesn't matter. Begin.
Well, it's clear that in the fight with Oompa Loompas, the one advantage I have is height. Can vampires fly?
Some can.
They can do something.
You can turn into a bat and fly, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can.
Um,
Well, Oompa Loompas are small, and I can fly.
Yeah, but you're bad. It's tiny.
No, not me. Not this guy.
What? How big a bat do you turn into?
No, well, it's not necessarily about turning into a bat and then using that to fight, like, because that, would, as you say, like one quite small bat versus 5 very small Oompa Loompas would
With
probably-
nunchucks.
With nunchucks, no. To be fair, you're right. But I think it's the ability to be able to move swiftly away from the Oompa Loompas while I strategize the plan.
But you also take it. Now you always forget this. You always ignore your big flaws. You got a lot of marriage issues going on at the moment,
That's true. A lot on my mind.
and you're also sneezing. You were recently crippled by a cold, and I think the two of you were actually. You both know how vicious a cold could be.
Yeah, that's true. But I think nonetheless, the ability to be able to take a time out, a tactical time out at any point during a fight by just turning into a bat and flying away, and just like flying over there and coming back to. I guess I can still think as a bat, so maybe I'm just flying around, just coming up with a plan, little there, here and there, like a little tear from my eye about my wife's marriage issues.
Just her marriage issues.
It's just so bad for her.
The marriage issues. Yeah, the marriage issues.
It's a very one-sided marriage issues. You're not having them.
Not fine. I think the element of time, the ability to flee and strategize, gives me an advantage.
What are you saying in this fight?
Well, I would like to think of myself as somewhat a expert when it comes to Oompa Loompas. And Oompa
You kind of look like Willy Wonka right now.
You do.
It's funny you should say that, because for my last day of school, myself and actually long-time listener of the pod, Jack Bonga, To give
Nice,
a little shout
Jack.
out.
Shout out, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
I dressed as Willy Wonka, and he was an Oompa Loompa. Incidentally, he also has weak hamstrings.
Wow.
He pulled it playing football recently. But anyway,
You and your mates just seem to have weak
Yeah, you have a lot of
legs.
problems.
Your knees are gone. His hamstrings are gone.
yeah,
Get some strong leg friends
Essex is not a good
Poor
place
breeding ground for,
Yeah, it is.
for legs.
for legs.
Yes. Anyway, but Jack embodied the spirit of an Oompa Loompa, and
What is the spirit of an Oompa Loompa?
they are hardy and sort of great teamwork. They have to be because they write all those songs together.
Yeah,
And
they do. They're incredibly well choreographed
Yes.
at the turn of a like that.
Yeah, there's like it's almost telepathic. I
Yeah.
would say it is telepathic. It must be. That is the only solution from my studies.
Would you say that Oompa Loompas are? I think they're working class. I think Oompa Loompas. I think they're like part of unions and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Just make it
vampires.
happen.
They're the bourgeoisie. But Count Dracula.
Yeah.
Count. You don't get any Count Oompa.
Yeah, they're a team. They're
Or
like
Lady Loompa.
yeah.
Yeah, they're a they're a persecuted people who got driven from their home. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Oompa Land, I think.
Is it?
No, I don't know.
All right, let's go with it. Oompa Land.
We'll call it Oompa Land.
And
To
yeah,
be fair,
they faced a lot of adversity, and they continue to do so, basically being slaves for Willy Wonka. So I think look, Count Dracula, all that pent up energy, and once we got in nunchucks, bang.
You're right. I think what we have failed to kind of storyboard here a little bit is the idea around the fact that as to why 5 Oompa Loompas aren't at the factory, and it might be down to their weak hamstrings.
They've been laid off.
They've been laid off.
because
So
of
not only are they struggling physically, but mentally, they are.
they're out of work.
They're out of work. They've been let go recently. There's not much kind of hope of like future. And I think putting 5 of them together is dangerous.
Oh, it's dangerous. Yeah, you're right. It's-
No, to one another, like almost like cannibalizing each other.
You think due to unemployment, the Oompa Loompas will turn on each other and eat each other?
No, I don't mean like full cannibalism.
What's
like
not full? What's mid cannibalism?
Well, just killing it. Just
You're not familiar with Marxist theory, are you? the proletariat when they're backed into a corner, when they're at their lowest point, that's when they go for the bourgeoisie. They wouldn't turn against each other. That's when the revolution happens. And Count Dracula, little flying pipistrel bat.
He's running rings round you with his words.
he is. To be fair, I haven't understood anything he said yet. I don't know what the bourgeois.
The bourgeoisie.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds
It
good.
sounds good. But what I think also you're failing to understand is my ability to pull together a group. I'm a leader. And there's 5 Oompa Loompas who are out of work, struggling. They've lost Willy Wonka. and they're looking for a leader. And I could be that leader.
So you're not going to fight them. You're going to employ them.
No. I'm gonna lead them well, lead them to their deaths.
These Oompa Loompas, they've had enough of their leaders. Their first leader got them, driven out of their homeland. Their second leader, Willy Wonka, was like, "Oh, your hamstrings. You can't make chocolate anymore. Get out."
You can't do your little songs and dances. You can't.
We're not going to see you sniffling like vampire who's looking at his wedding ring what's even the point anymore? And be like, "Oh, this is a guy I'm going to follow."
What sort of marriage issues is this vampire having?
Well,
And can they be solved?
I think all marriage issues can be solved. But I'd also like to clarify that they're not too deep. I think part of the problem is that I'm out a lot of nights.
You're out, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you're never home.
I'm working.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
I'm a vampire.
We've got to the gist of the issue here, which is that she doesn't like that you work nights.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it's just starting to get to the point where she's a little bit frustrated. All the the vamp kids are running around, at night. She's having to get up and sort that. So, like, I think it's one of those things that, like, I'm looking for an out. I'm looking for an opportunity to employ to help me manage some of my work schedule in the evenings. And so as part of that
It
plan,
just sounds like you don't want to fight these Oompa Loompas. It just sounds like you want to employ them.
No. No, it's just an option. I'm just looking at my options. Like, right now, I'm flying around. Thinking, all these things I'm just thinking about.
They've rejected your job offer.
No,
because they want fair pay, and you're not giving that.
No.
And so now you got to fight them. Back to the original point. You're fighting them. What fighting techniques does this vampire have against these very small but very good with nunchucks Oompa Loompas?
And there's the cough, by the way, still dragging on.
Crippling.
I would say that the nunchucks are in proportion, I assume.
Yes.
And if they're not in proportion, then they ain't lifting them. So either they're not lifting the nunchucks because they're not in proportion, they're full-size nunchucks, and they're not going to really, after a few minutes of swinging those around, they're going to be knackered, especially with a hamstring issue. Can't even lift them off the ground. Second of all, if they are to size, they're not a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a wee nunchuck, that's like taping two straws together. I don't think that any of the damage that they could do with those nunchucks is anything I need to be worried. Like my wife issue is a bigger problem than those nunchucks. That for me is where the concern sits. And so I guess it's just working out like how to get through that.
He's tried to employ you. You said no. How are you killing this guy?
With the nunchucks. Because I think you are underestimating the strength of the Oompa Loompa. They lifted Augustus Gloop. Like he's a big chap. Are you familiar with?
Was he not inflated at the time?
No, that's
that's
Violet.
Violet.
Beauregard.
Yeah.
Where was he?
He goes in the chocolate river
Oh,
and gets stuck in the
pipe.
They lift him. They roll massive blueberry.
No,
Violet
she's
Beauregard.
inflated though. That's easy.
Oompa Loompa, they've worked in this factory. They've got like their calloused hands. They've done all sorts. And yeah, they're strong. They're a strong, sturdy race. Let's go with.
Say this guy gets you on the back foot. What are you doing? You can't run. Those
I can't,
hamstrings.
yeah,
well, you
but-
can
yeah.
run, but there's a risk. There's always a risk that your hamstring might go.
And even to be fair, running at full speed I can fly. So you ain't running away. Yeah, no, but I can fly and then turn back to be a vampire.
I think that going back to like the teamwork abilities, the teamworking of the Oompa Loompa people, they would form a sort of shield, a wall, they'll be back to back, they'll be fighting, and any way that you a vampire tries to pick off a weak one, there is no weak one. They're a unit. They are one.
They are Oompa. Emma, I'm going to come to you. Emma's off screen. Emma, closer to the mic. What would you say? What are you thinking of these arguments? Who's winning this fight?
Wait,
I honestly think Tristan wins because
Why?
all I'm getting from this vampire is that he's a cowardly little bat it's just emotional and ill and is just using his bat ability to just fly away. The minute things get hard, and I think that the sheer camaraderie, is that the word?
camaraderie. Yeah.
Camaraderie.
That the one? Of the Oompa Loompas just wins, and their determination to overthrow the big guys.
And
I think that just wins.
I'll let you have a final point each.
I think as well, the Oompa Loompa they seem to zero in on the weaknesses of their subjects, and they would write a really sort of horrible song about your vampire, about marriage, like Oompa Loompa, doopidy wife, what is even the point of your life?
Wow, you're such a lyricist.
And yeah, I think that it would be a mental battle as well as a physical one, and the sort of the songwriting ability to sort of focus on weaknesses and really bring them to the fore would just like be the final straw for your vampire.
Final point, Alex.
My final point is I haven't actually really mentioned anything to do with what really a vampire does, which is like actually go to people and literally bite them.
That's what I was going to say.
To the
You've
point
not-
of absolute, well, I didn't think I needed to mention it because it's clearly obvious. I have years of experience of sneaking up on folk at nighttime and literally drinking the blood from their neck. I just don't think 5 Oompa Loompas against that could really manage, even if they were all on me at once. Do you know what I mean? Turn into a bang.
It's a good strategy.
I've been killing for years.
I've heard of the bang. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Well, I've had a wee think, and I just think you were a bit too late with saying what a vampire could actually do, because all you did was just bat the whole time, just like, and try to employ
bat
them.
and hire.
It didn't seem like you actually ever wanted to.
No, it was all part of the strategy.
You
I had
ever
time.
wanted to fight them.
Look, I was trying to deal with my, put the wife issues in a box, put the cold in the box.
And Tristan, this guy knows his Oompa Loompa lore. Like, he has studied these people, and he knows what they're capable of. And the fact that they could, you're already quite. His point about you being emotionally fragile and taunting you with one of their brilliantly on the spot songs. They're brilliant improvisers. Clearly, these Oompa Loompas. I'm gonna have to give it to the 5 Oompa Loompas. And I really hope that you sort out whatever is going on in your vampire life.
Thanks, mate.
But thank you very much for watching. This has been another episode of Discussing Nothing. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Adios.